Okay, on today's video, I'm going to talk about how to customize your PPC campaign's offer, or in other words, what you're offering on your ad to the user, beyond here's my product, do you want to buy it or not, but how you present your product in terms of what we call in the ad industry call to action is. Buy now, learn more, whatever it is, and how you frame that. And what's on your landing page, of course, where you're taking them to, how to optimize that, and specifically optimizing it in the way of offering something that appears custom or made to order to beat out your competition thereof, mostly somebody or multiple people in your space, usually multiple people that aren't doing anything like that and underestimate or have not thought about doing this for their business, of which nobody else is doing in your space. You could 2, sometimes even 3x the amount of results your campaign is making by doing this. And I can tell you right up front, anybody could almost customize any product or service that they have to sell. There are exceptions, but I'm going to give you multiple examples of where this has been done for companies that I know of before, so you have an idea and can wrap your head around how to actually quote unquote customize your campaign so you can get this 2 or 3x return on your campaign. It's just more about giving the consumer what they want. So I could tell you firsthand, basically, that the whole mantra in business is, okay, I'm sure it will work. And yes, I see testimonials. Yeah, it worked for them, but I don't think it'll work for me. And this happens way, way more than you think. That's why offering somebody a customized solution works so darn good to be able to sell something to somebody, because realistically, half the time, this is the main hurdle that you're trying to get the person over. And it's also why it's hard when you sell something over a certain price point, let's say over $100 to $200, to get someone to buy without calling first or having a phone number available, because the more they spend, the more they're going to think it doesn't work for me. In our own PPC ad management space for the firm that I run here, Guaranteed PPC, it's the same exact thing. Oh yeah, you got 100 testimonials and 15 case studies, but will it work for my industry? And then so you have to be able to then share with them and talk specifically about the experiences that you've had that's as close as possible to them. And still, even then, they have the audacity, even if you had them talk to references, doesn't matter. Some people just will not buy unless you've worked with somebody in that, if they're a sales trainer, they want you to be in sales training, they ain't buying. And really what it comes down to, it's not about the integrity of what you sell, it's the integrity of the thing in general. People, like I said just a second ago, let's just say we're talking about a diet product. When people read the testimonials, they know it probably works. They just don't know if it will work for them because they don't have confidence in themselves and they don't have a very good imagination, let's just say. So that's why getting on the phone, having a good sales process where you're getting people on the phone and then talking to them works. But you could actually change your offer to get an even better result on your campaign and add a little bit of a more manual approach to selling, generate a call or a form fill versus just going for the sale. A lot of times you need it to be profitable anyway, but instead of having to have a high-powered salesperson on the phone, you can add there's not an automated process, but a systemized process that you can use to get the lead where the person's ultimately asking to customize what you have here, so it'll be customized to my needs, and then you got a little assembly line of somebody who can put together a customized offer for that person, shoot it to them, and then you make a sale. So respectively from all that, I'm going to explain though a little bit more about how this actually works, what kind of results you can get, and decide ultimately if you want to do it or not. But if you're sitting at 3-to-1, 4-to-1 return, you need an 8-to-1 return. This customizing your product or service in a way that I'm describing here really can put you over the the edge on a lot of occasions. Like I said, especially and particularly if nobody else in your space is doing it yet, and you're the one thinking outside the box, to do this as well. And there's a lot of ways to do it. So anyway, I'll get into it. We eat our own dog food here. I also customize our offer. We project for the client out 8 quarters what your results are going to be before you begin. Other firms are just going to say, well, we don't know what's going to happen. We'll just see. Where we do the research up front so we could customize and tell you for your exact industry what's usual and what we expect from that. And then therefore they have the confidence to go forward because it's not so much of an unknown at that point. So realistically, there's many different ways to set a sale up for yourself like that for your business depending on what you're doing. I'm just going to go through a few, but you obviously can take it and run with this information to set it up for your business. So you get the 2 or 3x increase in campaign profitability by, instead of asking them to buy, ask them to engage with you in some way so that you can give them a customized solution. So one thing is for sure, people love customizing your products and services if you'll offer it, as that makes it less questionable for the user if what you have fits my application and will work without question. Just saying this works for people that are over 300 pounds doesn't mean the person over 300 pounds is going to buy that. They're not going to bite on it nearly as much as you think. But if you could talk to a specialist who normally works with people who are over 300 pounds about and ask them questions, or ask them questions on a landing page about what your goals are, and you put in 300 pounds there, and then you ask a few follow-up questions. Now we're talking here. Now, that seems a little bit complicated, but realistically, again, half of this could be automated. You could have something, it depends on up to you. For me, I'm going to test this out manually, and it works. I'm gonna create an literal automated process on my site to make everybody who comes in thinks like I'm giving them a customized solution, maybe when I'm not actually doing that for the user. So the perfect reason to go with you and you alone will be when you offer something that is going to speak to their exact situation, when you and only you are the only ones doing it in your space, and given that roughly half the people who you're trying to convince to buy and who are in market are going to base what they're buying, if they're going to buy it, based upon whether they think it'll work for them and them specifically. A lot of people in your market won't buy at all. They're clicking on wasting your budget as well as your competitors' budgets because they don't think it'll work for them. So you're going to eat into a bunch of those people that just would have never bought, now buy from you. And there's also people who will buy, they're leery, and now you just gave them the perfect reason to just buy from you. When you're doing marketing of anything and with any business, your goal always should be to be first or better. And customizing an offer that wasn't normally customized in your space is a perfect way just to be different/better. If you have 5 or 10 people to pick from on Google there, you type in, wedding cake provider, and you see wedding cake, we sell wedding cakes here. Oh, we also offer wedding cakes. And then get a customized snapshot of what your wedding cake will look like with the design and name and everything that you want in 2 hours or 1 hour or whatever, in 15 minutes or right away, instantly, by putting in your information, because you have something on site that you've programmed to do that. They're going to go obviously beelining for you. Now it's just a matter of doing it in an economical way, which I'm going to share. There's many different ways to do it, so it is economical. And if you're going to make 2 or 3 times as much from your campaigns on the same ad spend, we're not talking about volume. Well, there'll be more volume because you're going to get more people to reply to you, but we're talking at 2 to 3 times the ROI as well. So that covers a lot of quote-unquote extra cost of setting something like that up, or you can actually show somebody what their cake will look like before they buy, and them not wondering, I wonder if the clown and the golfer on my cake is actually going to look good on the type of cake that I'm looking here on the screen, which is what this is about. So almost anything can be customized either physically or virtually to gain this extra 2x in ROI possible in your market as well. You just have to get creative. So like I said, everybody wants a customized solution. you could do the old school way where you say, talk to a wedding cake artist, specialist, to find out if what you want will look good on this cake would be one way to do it, a low-tech way of doing it. That's not very thinking outside the box. Now, I can tell you for a fact, if you do that as your call to action on your site, it's going to convert better than just, having a phone number there, by a good 50% as is. If you look at guaranteedppc.com, you'll see the call to action that we have on our page right on the button is please help me fix my broken sales funnel. It doesn't say contact me. Everybody knows in this space that optimizes ads for a living and landing pages that the call to action you use should be as verbose and descriptive as possible as to the end solution that you're trying to solve. But what I'm talking specifically on this video about is going one step further. It's saying, talk to an expert so that we could, and then all we want to add so we could give you a customized solution, or to find out how to make the customized solution for your application by giving us information and us then feeding back what our expert advises you to do and what it might look like. So anyway, there's actually, I'm breaking these ways to customize an offer to 2 or 3 extra campaign results into a physical category and then a virtual category. In the physical category, I've had a client who sells doggy doors before, makes a lot of money. With that, it's literally about customizing the product. You see the doggy door, you call, they ask you about what size of dog you have, they ask how much you care about, what type of door material you have, and so on and so forth. And then they set you up with the proper doggy door, and then they send you the materials and the instructions to install it. So that's very profitable of a business, but that's one way to customize your offer, and that on the page you could just say, to see if this is going to work for your dog, give us a call. It was like what I was saying before, kind of a simpler way to do this to get your 2 or 3x results difference. Next thing would be a mailbox. So a lot of people, mailboxes are about aesthetics as much as they are about function, but also we had somebody that sells a customized expensive mailbox that you could customize in terms of the color. Maybe I want the flag in blue instead of black because it's the color of our house. You really get to customize everything. Now, if I'm going to buy a mailbox and I'm some picky wife, let's just say, I'm going for that. It might be just because I could customize the color of the flag on it because I don't want it, to not match my house, like I said. So in that particular case, the business is off the hook because they allow you to put security features on it, and so you get to build it kind of like so it's made to order is one way to describe it, but it's like if you buy a car, they make the car as per what your needs are. You get to customize it, and they have an online customizer, and obviously it's very expensive to customize that way. If you want to take the low-tech approach, you say, here are our basic options, give us a call, and we'll talk you through and make sure you choose the right ones, because you can't, unless you have a very, 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 very good interface, just expecting them to go through your automated process for something like that, I can tell you right off the bat, it's very difficult to do. It can be done, but think about how sophisticated the auto manufacturers are when they do that. It's very, very, what they call intuitive, of course, and so you just have to be, aid caution to that. Start off, I would say if you can't invest, go to a high-end web design firm if you're going to do it, and only do it the high-end way. Otherwise, it probably won't work out the way that you want, and you could just get around it by showing a few of the options and then just pushing the call is what I would recommend. But you get the idea. That's physically changing the product. Some products you could just take, I want to sell mailboxes. My edge is going to be that I customize it. Now there's a ton of products out there where you can do this and get a 2 to 3 times higher return that you would get than anybody else in the market just because you're willing to do that. And yes, I know you're saying, Corey, it's going to cost so much to customize it. Make your business about customizing it. And with that said, you can have 10 different types of mailboxes with 10 different options. There's only 100 possible variations. And with that, you don't have to carry a ton of inventory and just get your system optimized. We have to paint the flag. Ooh, big deal. It can be done. I know it can be done. There's a company that that we're working with that is doing it. So you get the general idea. I don't have to beat a dead horse. Anyway, next is where we're getting into the virtual ways to customize our offer and make our offer seem perfect for the problem that our customer has, and for them to not have to question what we have to sell them is going to be appropriate for them. Not appropriate for most people like them, but for them exactly, which they're going to be questioning as one of their main ways, them talking themselves out of the purchase. The first of which is supplements. So eventually, supplements are all I feel going to be sold this way. There was a DNA testing company who they offered the DNA test at the cheapest possible rate, so they could get the person's their customer database, and then with that they customized the supplements that person needs based upon their DNA markers. And so the whole profit was in the recurring business of the repeat business of buying the supplements once they know exactly what works for them, because they're not going to go get 2 DNA tests. So now they're buying all their supplements from them. It's a clever, very, very clever way of building a business. And this is the kind of way you should be thinking. So there might be something that you do, if you're going to have a lot of reoccurring business that you do, to talk to people up front. Another variation of that, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, is like a dermatologist. You go in there, the dermatologist tells you to buy certain, acne medication. They sell it in the clinic. And so, yes, it's biased information if you want to think of it that way. But now they got locked in 24 purchases of this product that they sell as well. So it's kind of like what you're doing. For me, if you didn't want to do that, I would do an alternate, which would be, okay, you sell vitamins. So yes, come to a questionnaire. Find out the perfect set of vitamins you need based upon what you're lacking. You have a questionnaire, you fill it out, it spits out 5 types of vitamins and supplements and minerals, whatever you need, and then that's like a quote-unquote prescription. You can't label that because FDA would come after you, but that would be a way to do it. So I haven't done that yet, but that would be that's what people are looking for here. People want customized solutions, and they aren't experts, so they don't know how to. If you go to a site full of supplements, the business model now is, I hope you already know what you want because we're unable to tell you what you want. Be the one person that people go to know what they want. Just like going into a GNC. GNC was whole business back in the day was being able to talk to that person and have them literally prescribe you something. Well, that can be all done with logic nowadays in terms of logic scripts, and answer 2 questions, and then once you answer 2, 3 more pops up, then you answer 3, then 2 more pops up, then bam, you have your solution. Insurance. So I worked in the travel insurance space. There was what they call, a lot of times in like the insurance is one, but you work with what are called brokers, which basically find you, they take your lead and they sell it to somebody who actually offers the insurance. So they take a middleman cut. In the travel insurance space, you have these aggregators, which you can see from all the different the providers what the plans are and what the prices are. Health insurance is the same way. When you could say, fill in these questions and we'll find you the cheapest policy that has the minimum standards that you want, that's a hell of a lot more attractive than finding out what the price is going to be for one policy from one company, which you're going to have to waste time filling out all the information, potentially talking to somebody on the phone, then find out it's not right, then you got to go to the next one, and if you do want the best rate, you got to contact 5 companies, do it all over again 5 times. People don't want to do that. So that's one space where if you do the aggregation versus the manual process, you're between 2 to 3 times the cost per lead, because that solution isn't, catered to some people. Don't want to have to do all that research. They want to talk to somebody once. They want to, and that's it essentially. Okay. Next, grow rooms. So there's indoor grow lighting equipment where you can grow, cabbages, whatever inside your house, artificial lights, and then sometimes people use, like, instead of dirt, hydroponics and stuff. If you're a newbie trying to get into this, you're now going to buy all the stuff all at once. You're going to spend probably $500 to $1,000 all at once, and you want to get in when that mega purchase is coming in to set everything up initially, not that one-off purchase. And you definitely, if you don't want them to come to your site and then leave and try to find it cheaper somewhere else. So we had a landing page that just says, hey, find out what will work inside the size of grow room that you have. Send us your measurements and we'll give you a plan that will work. These many lights, this temperature gauge, whatever. And then on the landing page, you always want to show people what they're going to get. If you're going to talk to somebody in a call center, you want a picture of a call center person there so they can visualize. It's a little off topic, but in this particular case, you show a 3D rendering of what their grow room, what you're going to do. You're going to send them back a virtual room with the products in there. And you don't have to do it in a software. Software would make it easy, but no, you have somebody who just copy pastes the stuff in there. You can hire a designer overseas that in 30 minutes can build that out. That'll cost you, $5, okay? And realistically, even if you get only 1 and 3 to 4 people to buy that, and they're going to buy a whole room worth of stuff for $1,000 or even $500, that system works. So it worked in that particular case where we tried it. And, realistically, if they're going to make all that purchase from you, they're probably going to come back for you for anything else in the future, any other nutrients, whatever. So another example is cake. So I talked about this briefly before. Wedding cakes are thousands and thousands of dollars. I did not know this before. But we had somebody it was similar to the grow room thing, where if you want to get a cake, okay, you can, on most sites, you can look at all the cakes, but you have to customize them a little bit. And how do I know, okay, I'm talking to somebody on the phone, I kind of want this and this, but it's a surprise what you're going to get back. Maybe you'll get it, and then you'll be like, oh, I'm just kind of disappointed. If somebody could actually put a little graphic together that would show briefly how you're going to lay it out, and I could see that before I buy, I'm buying your cake over somebody else's. The same thing could be done with any catering, by the way. If you were how the catering's laid out, we never did this, but I suggested it to a caterer before. Why not have like a database of what each item you have on your menu looks like? Like they say in the restaurant industry, if you have pictures on the menus, that increases the conversion rate a lot, especially on the items where there's pictures. So you show them all visually what the layout will be, and they can see what each item looks like when cooked. That's another way you can increase conversions easily by 2x from that, even though I didn't do that exact one. But with the cakes, over double the conversion rate. Who are you going to choose from? Customize your cake, now, whatever. And again, with that, there's some people that allow you to do online customization, but it doesn't allow you to truly customize it. And so on the landing page, you just show, before blank cake, after the design is on that, and then we'll send you what your cake looks like. Just enter in your information here. And so they get the lead, they send a proof of it. About half of the people will buy it anyway, and for the cost of what it costs, $3 to send them a quick, image of what the design's going to look like from a data bank of different designs that you have. It's very, very profitable to do that when you're selling a $2,000 cake on average. So anyway, that's that. Promo product. So along the same lines, you could sell anything customized that way. We've sold hats where if you enter in your information, you're going to get your logo on the hat so you can see what your logo looks like on the hat before you buy it. That'll roughly triple the cost per lead, or cut the cost per lead at a third. Sorry. Same thing with USB sticks. So if you're in that industry, there's a free secret for you. Teeth whitening. It's a similar thing to the grow rooms again. When you get a teeth whitening product, it's a very big market for like do it yourself. You want to see how is it going to work on my teeth? Maybe they're too yellow. Just saying to somebody that you're going to get 2 shades lighter, yeah, you could show a diagram there, but it's a cool gimmick to have to where you can see what your teeth is going to look like once this product's approved. So sending a photo, we initially just had somebody send in their photo, we would send back what their teeth is going to look like if you buy this product. The product is about $100, and they'll probably order refills. So the real lifetime value is more like $200-300. So, and it again costs like $2 to have somebody quick adjust that photo. it worked, and then they went to create an online virtual thing where it would just do it instantly to boost the results even more. I have not asked them about where that project was at, but that was the next thing in line for them to do, which makes logical sense. And along those lines, like I said, you could start doing this manually, see how much you're going to make, and then maybe create a script that will do it. For that teeth whitening one, it would be easy to do. And then, because on the ad you could say, see what your teeth will look like instantly with our configurator. Well, which ad you're going to click on? Come on. Pool construction. So in the pool industry, the pool construction companies have a way to design your pool on like a CAD program, and you can see what it looks like before you buy. Well, we just had a landing page that said, see what kind of pool you can get with your max budget and a picture of your backyard. And so it's basically the same thing, but we're telling them up front what the end solution is that they're going to get in terms of the sales process. That increased conversion rates by about 2x. You could do the same thing in the interior design business. Have a picture of your kitchen. We'll show you 3 different versions of kitchens after asking you a few questions, like if you want a white granite or darker granite, and then we'll send you back 3 versions for you to pick from, and then from there we can then narrow down. But just showing on the landing page, we'll send you back 3 versions, 1, 2, 3, all which look similar, but the cabinets were different here. Again, that's what it's what's going to engage them, and you're going to look different than anybody else, because everybody else is just going to say, contact our sales department. And people, it's more of an effort than you think for people to talk to a salesperson. You're going to get hounded, they're going to be pressured, but I'll do it if you're going to give me instant gratification like that. Done that also worked in the interior design space, specifically kitchens and like bathrooms. Then the last one, I have not done this one, but suits and dresses. For anybody who's in the space where you're selling wedding dresses, particularly high-end ones, people want to see what their wedding dress will look like on them, so why not have them send a picture of them and then put their head on the dress so they don't have to try on 50 of them, because it's so hard to do. It takes a long time to try on a dress. But also with that, you want to see what your dress is going to look like alongside the maid of honors and the groom, or not the groom, but the best man, and I forgot what that's called, the male side. So you could get a picture, and then instead of having everybody come on the same day and then try up on a whole bunch of stuff, you could send a digital version of what this suit would look like in combination with this color dress, and then put that on a landing page. That would work like gangbusters. If you're in that business, you got to try that. That's what I would be doing if I were in that business right now. But you get the general idea here. Find a way to take the risk out of the equation for the user so that people know what they're going to get before giving it to them. Guarantee is one way, and this is even better than offering a guarantee, and you're less likely to get taken advantage of, because people with guarantees, sometimes they over-expect, whereas this, they're agreeing to what it looks like before you go, and then you have to go do all this stuff with them anyway. Once they buy, you now have to figure out what they're going to accept, and then you're taking a risk, because if you don't give them exactly what they're thinking, then they may have to do it again. This, in a way, costs the same as what it would have cost anyways, plus you're getting the increase in ROI just from having given them what they want sooner in the process, if you will, with less work. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have a ton of other videos like this on this channel. You should check them out if you haven't already. I have a blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog with step-by-step instructions on how to build campaigns like I build them at our firm to guarantee people's results. If you have any questions or comments about this, customize your offer strategy, if you will, leave me a comment or question below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel within a day or two. But hope you enjoyed. Hope this makes sense and you try it out in your next campaign.